Okay, guys, we're gonna go and log into Broker Sumo, and we're gonna show you guys how to submit a transaction to get paid. First thing you want to do is you want to log in. Great. You want to make sure that your transaction is in the view transaction. If not, well, it should be. You might need to resync your .loop, and if it's still not showing up, you can also start from scratch, but there's probably something wrong with your .loop because everything from .loop should sync in here. So at that point, once you have a transaction that all your transactions that pull up, if you're going to submit for a payment or a commission on your thing, what you want to do is essentially click on the transaction, and you want to make sure that these are filled out in their entirety. So this is a listing. You want to make sure that you have your sales price, the close date, the commission on both sides, especially if it's a listing. You will know how much that is, your commission plan. So if some of these are labeled, some are not. If it's a lead, company lead, you will be doing a buyer lead, 40%. If it's a listing lead, it'll be 30% and so forth. So in this case, we'll do a listing lead, 30%. You will click the listing agent, which is me, lead source. We can't, for in some reason, edit that. You'll want to make sure that you add the buyer here. And you'll also want to add the seller. Make sure you have, if it is in the MLS, make sure you put in the MLS number. So any files or any transactions that are not fully complete with all of these details will unfortunately not be able to be paid out. We'll have you guys go back and put it in. You want to enter in at this point also all your escrow info. See, the nice part is some of this stuff is actually already pre-populating. So if it is pre-populating, it'll fill in all this stuff. So for example, if we do Old Republic Jordan Roth, it has most of the stuff already filled in. So that's the nice part. Make sure you put your escrow number in, and then always before you leave, make sure you click Save Changes. So that way it saves. At this point, this part is pretty important. This is the created disbursement. And you want to make sure that you have the correct transaction selected, that verify all this information is correct. You have your gross commission, sale price, everything like that. And then at this point, you'll be able to see how the breakdown works out. So for example, listing agent commission, if it's 30%, I'm going to get $3,000. The transaction fee is going to most likely be $250. So there we go. And at that point, any additional items, let's just say, I don't know, let's say in this case, you want to pay transaction coordinator here first. Right, enter vendor name. So anyways, you can go through here. You could pay, you could have it be a debit, right? And a flat fee, and maybe it's $325. Boom. And now that also will come out of the overall amount. It'll show a breakdown of everything. If you have any comments that you like to add, you can add a comment there. But at that point, you want to create a disbursement. Okay, so once the disbursement has been created, this part's really important. We don't get notified on the back end. So what you're then going to have to do is generate a disbursement PDF. And that PDF will pop up right here. And this is what it looks like. Has our logo and has a breakdown of everything. At this point, you want to go ahead and take this, save it, or if you want, you could even directly just move it into your email. And what you want to do is send it to our backend, so which would be Debbie and myself. So you can actually just click and drag in this situation. And there it is, it attached. You will send it off to Debbie or the office, the back office, and myself. Make sure you put the address of the transaction, which is 2514. You can copy and paste this right here, and then just put disbursement. Disbursement review. Disbursement. So at that point, you want to click send. I'm not really going to send it. I'll send it to myself actually. So you'll send it to us. At that point, you have done almost everything you need to do. So you'll send off the disbursement. At the same time, you are required to upload a HUD or a settlement statement. So I'll show you what that looks like. You'll want to select the documents. I have them saved right here. So I went to here. Okay, it's not letting me do that. But that's okay because I have it right here. If they'll let me do it. And of course they won't. But essentially you want to upload the HUD. Let's just say this is it. You'll upload it, or the settlement statement. You'll type in settlement statement and you will upload. Here's what it looks like. Here's what they look like. So essentially it'll look like this, and it'll have a breakdown of the sale price, the debits, and the credits, and this will allow us to verify that all of the numbers match. So this is directly, you'll get this from your transaction coordinator, Jennifer, or whoever that may be, and you're also able to get it directly from the title company as well. It's, as I mentioned, it's called a settlement statement or a HUD, and this is what they look like. So anyways, that is that. Once you upload the HUD here, the settlement statement to documents, at this point, there's been about as much as you can do. You can add some notes to the file if you'd like, if there's something that you'd like to let us know. But for the most part, at this point, you would just put disbursement created, and you can email a request for approval. I guess you could do it like this too. So I guess I just found this out. This is obviously a much easier way rather than attaching it. So my suggestion is to do it like that. Anyways, so that is that. And at that point, once you notify us that you had that you need approval for your disbursement, we will come on here. Make sure you always click Save Changes. Otherwise, nothing will save. And we will then come on here and we will pay you guys, and you'll get a notification. If there's anything wrong with it, we will email you letting you know that you need to upload more information. Please make sure that you have all of these things filled out in detail. It's okay if you don't have a fax, but that's about it. Everything else should be filled out, and it's not really that much at all. So if you don't know the commission, let's just say we're on the selling side and we don't know listing commission, that's fine. You could put it at 0 if that's the case. But whatever side we are on, if we're on the selling side, we should put it. And then if we're on the listing side, obviously we know what both sides are. So yes, if there's any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us, but that is essentially how you submit for payment.